Hey friends, welcome to the second half of my bookshelf tour. I'm gonna start with the second half of general fiction and then I'll work my way down. Okay, so starting with this section that starts with blue and goes all the way to neutral, we have 100 Years of Solitude by Gabriel Garcia Marquez. He's one of the greatest writers of all time, in my opinion. Sea Creatures by Susanna Daniel, which I've never read. The Elegance of the Hedgehog by Muriel Barbary. I've never read that either. A paperback copy of Swimming Lessons by Claire Fuller. I got sent that by the publisher. The Girl Who Slept with God by Val Berlinski. The Voyage of the Narwhal by Andrea Barrett. Where the River Ends by Charles Martin. A lot of these books I haven't read. Cold Mountain by Charles Fraser. That's on my list to read this year. Chemist by Stephanie Meyer. A Disappointing Homecoming by Patty Boat. That's my mummy. The Distant Hours by Kate Morton. I just won her latest book in a giveaway from Goodreads, and I'm so excited because I love her books. Jonathan Livingston Seagull by Richard Bach. Midnight in Austenland by Shannon Hale. I started it, never finished it. Ghost at a Watchman by Harper Lee. The Awakening by Kate Chopin. The Mayor of Casterbridge by Thomas Hardy. It's a quite lovely color of purple. Anna Karenina by Leo Tolstoy. Tolstoy is also one of the greatest writers of all time. Crime and Punishment by Fyodor Dostoevsky. People of the Book by Geraldine Brooks. This is a book I bought because of the cover. A Thousand Splendid Suns by Khaled Hosseini. He's really fantastic. If you haven't read his books, you should give him a shot. The Count of Monte Cristo by Alexander Dumas. Did I say that right?
Dumas.
You did.
The Sweet Trade by Elizabeth Garrett, which is about female pirates, one of my favorite subjects ever. Sense and Sensibility and Sea Monsters. These are really fun. The Quirk Classics series. Pride and Prejudice and Zombies. North and South by Elizabeth Gaskell. They made that into a mini-series. It's really good. And The Mountains Echoed by Khaled Hosseini, another great book. And The Guernsey Literary and Potato Peel Pie Society, which doesn't have a dust jacket, by Marianne Schaffer and Annie Barrows. Okay, then I have No Country for Old Men by Cormac McCarthy. I haven't read the book, but the movie is incredible. The Painted Veil by W. Somerset Maugham. Violin by Anne Rice. I don't even know what it's about. Bronte by Glyn Hughes, which is a book about the Bronte sisters. Another copy of Pride and Prejudice. This one I got for $1 at Target like years ago when I was in high school. I have like 7 copies of Pride and Prejudice. Mansfield Park. The Alchemist by Paulo
Coelho.
Cool. The Heretic's Daughter by Kathleen Kent. I have Cranford by Elizabeth Gaskell. I have another copy of Sense and Sensibility. The first book, Inheritance, in Victoria Wilcox's Southern Sun trilogy. That's my mother-in-law. She's awesome. A Tale of Two Cities by Charles Dickens. Love in the Time of Cholera, also by Marquez. Little Women and Good Wives by Louisa May Alcott. Wicked by Gregory Maguire. Not a huge fan of that one, honestly. Wow, my books are really packed in here, guys. It's hard to get them out. Okay, A Novel of Zelda Fitzgerald by Therese Ann Fowler. I don't know if I said her name correctly. Okay, Miss Jane, which has a really beautiful cover by Brad Watson. It's a great book. Sophie's World by Justine Garter. I don't know how to say that, but that's a book my husband recommended to me. It's about philosophy and it's awesome. Bridget Jones' Diary by Helen Fielding. Hector and the Search for Happiness by Francois Lelord. I don't know how to say that either. I'm really bad at pronouncing foreign names, guys. White Teeth by Zadie Smith. 12 Years a Slave by Solomon Northup. Border Songs by Jim Lynch. The Smart One and the Pretty One by Claire Lizebnik. I can't actually read her name. It's in cursive. Room by Emma Donoghue. This is a fantastic book and a fantastic movie. Catch-22 by Joseph Heller. And Austenland by Shannon Hale. Let the Northern Lights Erase Your Name by Vendela Vida. The Princess Bride by William Goldman. And The Pillars of the Earth by Ken Follett. So that's it for general fiction. Okay, so this is my horror, mystery, thriller shelf. It's kind of all over the place. It's like those books that kind of fit into this category. I'm not going to take these ones off the shelf like the other shelf that's horizontal because, again, it's hard to take them off and put them back. I have a copy of Dark Matter by Blake Crouch. Really, really, really highly recommend this book. It's awesome. I have the 6th in the number 1 Ladies Detective Agency series by Alexander McCall Smith in the Company of Cheerful Ladies. I also have number 4, which is the Kalahari Typing School for Men. I have 3 Bags Full, which is a sheep detective mystery. I haven't read it yet, but it sounds really cool. I have number 5 in the Ladies Detective Agency book, The Full Cupboard of Life. I have a book called Every Last Lie by Mary Kubica. I won that one in a giveaway. I have All the Birds Singing by Evie Wyld. This book is really, really good, but I don't know anybody who's heard of it. So if you're looking for something very literary, pick that one up. I have the 2nd book in the Ladies Agency series called Tears of the Giraffe, and the number 10 as well called Tea Time for the Traditionally Built. I also have number 9, The Miracle at Speedy Motors, number 7, Blue Shoes and Happiness, Morality for Beautiful Girls. I don't know what number that one is. And then I have number 1, which is the number 1 Ladies Detective Agency. I have a book called Left by Tamar Osowski. I have a book called The White City by Elizabeth Bear. This is a really cool book. It's illustrated. I have the book Chop Shop by Tim Downs and the book Shoe Fly Pie, also by Tim Downs. Those are in the Bugman series. I have the book Strange But True by John Searles. The Thackeray T. Lamstead Cabinet of Curiosities, edited by Anne and Jeff Vandermeer. I don't really know anything about that book, but it has a cool cover. I have Magpie Murders by Anthony Horowitz, which is also a giveaway book that I won. Meddling Kids by Edgar Cantero. I do have to show you the cover for this one because it's just so beautiful. So it's one of my favorite book covers I've ever seen. I think it's just stunning. And it's like a Scooby-Doo type of book. Okay, then I have The Forgotten Girls by Sarah Bladel. Number 8 in the number 1 Ladies Detective Agency series called The Good Husband of Zebra Drive, and Mr. Monster by Dan Wells. Okay, so this shelf is kind of a collection of things that don't fit anywhere else. So it's poetry, short stories, and kind of like miscellaneous collectibles type books, like humor, reference, that sort of thing. So I have The Worst Case Scenario Survival Handbook Travel Edition. I don't know why I have this, it just makes me paranoid. All My Friends Are Dead, which is that one cute dinosaur book. A Hole Is to Dig, which is actually by Maurice Sendak. The Dot in the Line, which is like a little math romance book. It's cute. The Badass Girl's Guide to Poker, very useful. Book Lust, which is like a book reference type of book by Nancy Pearl. And Bright Young Things by Allison Maloney. Very pretty. It's about the flappers. This is just an empty book jacket right now. Somebody's borrowing The Secret Keeper. I then have this copy of The Little Mermaid and other Hans Christian Andersen fairy tales. Very, very pretty. I have The Story and Its Writer, which is a collection of short stories. Vampires in the Lemon Grove by Karen Russell, which is also short stories. I have Grimm's Fairy Tales. And then I have My Mistress's Sparrow is Dead, which is like a love story collection. I have the Echo Anthology of International Poetry. Highly recommend that. The Language of Thorns, which is the fairy tale book by Leigh Bardugo that exists in her Grisha universe, and it's awesome. Sleepy Hollow and Other Short Stories by Washington Irving, and the Jhumpa Lahiri Interpreter of Maladies short story collection. I then have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Mary-Kate Ashley books that my sister sent to me for a project I'm working on, so those are fun. I have the Selected Stories and Poems by Edgar Allan Poe, as well as Deserted Village by Goldsmith, which is just a random poetry book that Ross bought for me. I also have this little 3 Piglets statue that was given to me when my baby sister was born by a friend, and I just think it's really adorable, so it sits on my bookshelf. I then have this Tiki Man candle that I got in middle school. That's pretty fun. He kind of looks scary when he melts because it looks like he's crying wax. And then I have my little chalkboard that right now says, "You must allow me to tell you how ardently ... And that's a Pride and Prejudice quote. Okay, so this is the top half of my mass market paperbacks shelf. On here, I have this little chess piece that I got at DI from when my husband and I did a music video shoot. I have this Ink and Wonder wooden bookmark that says, "I am the blood of the dragon." It's a Daenerys one, obviously. There's also a random rock back there, but I don't really remember where I got it, so it's just there. Then this little golden wolf statue that I figured kind of worked for the Game of Thrones theme, and it was from my wedding reception. So that's special. Okay, so then I have this 5-book box set of the leather-bound, they feel like dragon skin, of the Song of Ice and Fire series by George R.R. Martin. These are so pretty. I'm not going to take them out because they're kind of a pain to get off the shelf and then out. Then I have The Catcher in the Rye by J.D. Salinger. Dragonfly and Amber by Diana Gabaldon. I don't know how to say her name either. I don't know how to say anyone's name. My Antonia by Willa Cather. The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy by Douglas Adams. Probably the funniest book I've ever read. Belong to Me by Marisa de los Santos. Heart of Darkness by Joseph Conrad. Voyager, which is the third Outlander book. The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn by Mark Twain. The Tenant of Wildfell Hall by Anne Bronte. The Custom of the Country by Edith Wharton. I don't know. All American Girl by Meg Cabot. I read that in high school and loved it. And then There Were None by Agatha Christie, which is a great book. And then Atonement by Ian McEwan. Okay, so the bottom half of that shelf has Murder on the Orient Express by Agatha Christie, The Prince of Tides by Pat Conroy, For One More Day by Mitch Albom, Firebringer by David Clement Davies. My sister-in-law gave me that one. Life of Pi by Yann Martel. To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee. Obviously, I have 2 copies of that because I need them. The Count of Monte Cristo. This must be the abridged version. I actually didn't remember I had that. The Host by Stephenie Meyer. This is actually my favorite Stephenie Meyer book. Farewell to Arms by Ernest Hemingway. It's a really great book. Silence of the Lambs by Thomas Harris. Fahrenheit 451 by Ray Bradbury. The War of the Worlds by H.G. Wells. Watership Down by Richard Adams. Again, one of my favorite books of all time. A Tale of Two Cities by Charles Dickens. The Notebook by Nicholas Sparks. And then I have the Lord of the Rings trilogy. This is a pretty cool illustrated covers and stuff. It's like older. Okay, then I have Uncle Tom's Cabin by Harriet Beecher Stowe. The Great Gatsby by F. Scott Fitzgerald. My Sweet Charlie by David Westheimer. This is one of my mom's favorite books of all time, and so I inherited that from her. Then I have the first 3 Anne of Green Gables books by L.M. Montgomery. There. And then I have the Complete Novels and Stories Volume 1 of the Sherlock Holmes stories by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. I have Elephants Can Remember by Agatha Christie. And The Chosen by Chaim Potok. And Dracula by Bram Stoker. Then I have some candle samples from North Avenue Candles, as well as this little chest, which has dinosaur bones in it that you won't be able to see, but you dig them up. It's like a little fossil kit. So that's cool. Okay, so this is my juvenile middle grade fiction shelf, which is obviously different than YA. This is like the older half of it. And I have to lay down on the floor because it's down here at the very bottom. Okay, so I have only one of the series of Unfortunate Event books. It's The Reptile Room. I have the completed, the whole thing of the Chronicles of Narnia right here by C.S. Lewis. Huge book. It's a great Christmas book. I have Girls in Pants, The Third Summer of the Sisterhood by Anne Brashares. I have Spells and Sleeping Bags by Sarah Mlynowski. Moon Pies and Movie Stars by Amy Wallen. Just Ella by Margaret Peterson Haddix. Sister Spider Knows All by Adrienne Fogelin. Hoot by Carl Heischen. I don't know, guys. This is embarrassing. The Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants by Anne Brashers. This is a fun cover. The Entomological Tales of Augustus T. Percival by, wait, it keeps going. Petronella Saves Nearly Everyone. That's the full title. By Dean Lowe. I have The Lightning Thief. Oh no, I knocked all my books over. Okay, I have The Lightning Thief by Rick Riordan. That's the first one in the Percy Jackson The Olympian series. I have Three Willows, The Sisterhood Grows by Anne Brashers. I have The Last Unicorn by Peter S. Beagle. Seven Tears into the Sea by Terry Farley. This was one of my favorite books in high school. Number 3 in the Percy Jackson series, The Titan's Curse. Second Summer of the Sisterhood. The Last Olympian, which is the 5th book in the series. The Book Thief by Marcus Zuzak. The second book in the series for Percy Jackson and the Olympians, The Sea of Monsters. I have The City of Ember by Jean Duprow. Altered Plans by Rebecca Cornish-Talley. Walk Two Moons by Sharon Creech. I also, you can't really see it probably, but there's a picture back here of my husband and I from our engagements. Then I have this dinosaur, probably from a birthday, I don't even know, as well as this fun little thing which says Wilcox Family Established 2016. That's the year we were married, and that is us in cross stitch that a friend gave us. That's really neat. Okay, so this is the other half of juvenile fiction. This is the younger part of it. I have Madeline, the Aesop for Children. These illustrations are stunning. The Bigelow Seed and Other Lost Stories by Dr. Seuss. This really, really beautiful completed Tales of Winnie the Pooh by A.A. Milne. It's so beautiful. The Annotated Alice in Wonderland by Lewis Carroll. I got this for my birthday and it was a really, really wonderful present. The pop-up version of The Little Prince by Antoine
Du Saint-Exupéry?
Yes, that.
That's right.
Really cool. There's the there are the baobab trees. So this is cool because this is the book that I used as my sign-in book at my wedding reception. So it has a bunch of signatures and fun stuff in it. Then I have Where the Wild Things Are by Maurice Sendak. This one is also cool because it has all of the signatures of the kids I taught kindergarten. I taught kindergarten to for 1 year. But I can't show you that because it's illegal for me to show their names or faces to you. I have Tyrannosaurus Rex, a Smithsonian Explorer book. And Guess How Much I Love You, which was one of my faves as a kid. I have Oh Say Can You Say Dinosaur by Dr. Seuss. Well, not really actually by Dr. Seuss, it's just part of the Cat in the Hat books, but it's not by him. One Fish, Two Fish, Red Fish, Blue Fish. My mom did like a subscription for me where every month she would send me a new Dr. Seuss book, so that's why I have so many. Are You My Mother, which is actually by P.D. Eastman. The Foot Book by Dr. Seuss. Hop on Pop by Dr. Seuss. I also have this Alice in Wonderland copy that was in the Owl Crate one time. I have another copy of Alice in Wonderland. I have Charlotte's Web, My Father's Dragon, which was a fun little skinny book when I was a kid. The Last of the Really Great Wangdoodles by Julie Andrews Edwards. So that is like Julie Andrews, like the famous Julie Andrews. This is really cute. This is called This Book Is Not for Adults, and this is the book that my husband proposed to me with. It has all of the messages we sent to each other while we were first dating. Anyway, that's cute. I'm gonna move these. Okay. Then I have Jewel the Unicorn and Ben the Bold, which is the first book I ever read. I'll read that to you guys sometime. I have The Selected Tales from Beatrix Potter. Really, really pretty book that I got one time for a gift. The Jungle Book by Rudyard Kipling. Also beautiful. The Invention of Hugo Cabret by Brian Selznick. I have the seventh Harry Potter book, Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows. That's the only one of this specific kind that I have. I have Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, the original screenplay by J.K. Rowling. It's so pretty. It's one of the reasons I got it. I have the first 3, the only ones that are released, of the illustrated Harry Potters. So, Sorcerer's Stone, Chamber of Secrets, Prisoner of Azkaban. I have a Harry Potter head mug. His glasses are missing. I got him when I was really little. I have the first 5 Little House on the Prairie books as a box set. And this is a Jane Austen 4 classic novels purse. It's not a book, guys. Well, it was a book, but it's a purse now. And that's it, I think, for Juvie. Oh, I do have some postcards if you guys want to see those. These are some Harry Potter postcards from Harry Potter World. This is my favorite one because it's propaganda. That shouldn't be my favorite thing in the world, but I think it's cool. Okay, and that's it for Juvenile. Okay, so this last shelf is just the top shelf of our games shelf at home, but it has a lot of book paraphernalia on it. So first I have my miniature library, which is a thing that I haven't done yet, but it's it's literally a miniature library that you create books and then you put them in this room on a bookshelf that you make. So that was a gift from a good friend. It was really nice of her. She just saw it and thought of me and thought, started like that. Next I have this little wicker duck basket. Nothing to do with books, but it's here. And I have my Spireside candles, wax tarts, which are Hansel and Gretel, and they smell like gingerbread and they smell incredible. This came in an owl crate box, and this is the wax warmer that came with that owl crate. So it has like a star and a moon on it, and you put the candle in there, and it has my gingerbread in it. Smells great. Okay, then I have some art prints. I have To the Stars Who Listen and the Dreams That Are Answered, which is a quote from A Court of Mist and Fury by Sarah J. Maas. These are the only 2 art prints that I actually put out and about because I like them so much. This one is a Hansel and Gretel, not Hansel and Gretel, this is Little Red Riding Hood. And there's the wolf and he looks creepy. And that's pretty fun. I don't actually know who did that. I don't know who did either of them. Okay. This is a tray that my sister made for me that is a dinosaur. It's painted gold and it has some of my fossil and rock collection on it. I collect rocks and I collect fossils too. So I have beach glass here, some pretty rocks that I found. I think that I found coal one time or something like unto coal, an igneous rock. And then these are some fossils that I found. There's shell fossils on here. I went on a field trip and we found fossils, so there's plant life or marine life on here. Anyway, that's pretty cool. And this is just a little amethyst souvenir that I got on a trip with a friend. It's fun. Okay, down here are my dinosaurs. So these are all my little dinosaurs from various different things. I also have a little Groot mini Funko Pop that is over here. And then all these little dinosaurs. This guy's not a dinosaur. He is a Dimetrodon, which is an ancient reptile. Not a dinosaur, though, just so you know. Okay, then I have this little weird monster photo holder. Again, that's not related to books either. No, a lot of this isn't related to books. That's fine. My very talented artist friend, Hannah Nielsen, created this little dinosaur art print for me that says Unleash Your Wild Roar, and that's supposed to be me, back when I had dark hair, on a dinosaur. Okay, this is where I put all of my bookmarks and book-related items. So I'm not going to show you all of it, but there's some cool stickers from books in here. Where the Wild Things Are, bookmark. This is from Daughter of the Pirate King. So there's all kinds of cool stuff in here. All my bookmarks, all of my things. A long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. Yeah, so that's fun. That's where I keep all those things in my little rabbit bowl. I also have a quote that says, "Love is spoken here," an empty jar, and a photo of my husband and I when we took our engagements. And that is everything that's on this shelf, which concludes this part of my bookshelf tour. In the future, I will do a bookshelf tour of my nonfiction shelf, but for now, this is going to be it since this is all I have over in this section of the world. So thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. Comment again if you can think of anything I'm missing or that you particularly love on my shelves. And that's it for today. Thanks so much for watching. BRB with Blind Rabbit Books.